The life of Corrie ten Boom and the years in the concentration camp, 1940 to 1944. 1. A peaceful life before the war. Corrie ten Boom was born and raised in a Christian family in Haarlem, the Netherlands. She was the daughter of Casper ten Boom, a well-known watchmaker in the city, who was also known for his deep compassion and strong Christian faith. Corrie's mother passed away when she was very young, and her father raised her and her siblings with love and special care. The ten Boom family was well known for their charity work and concern for the poor and those in need. They helped the elderly, the poor, and anyone facing difficulties in society. Everyone in the family, especially Corrie's father, tried to create a peaceful, fair, and loving environment. Corrie lived in a small but cozy house where her father worked as a watchmaker, repairing and creating watches for the locals. Their home also became a place where many people came for repairs, and through this, Corrie learned to face people with patience and compassion. However, the peaceful life of the ten Boom family was drastically disrupted when Nazi Germany invaded the Netherlands in 1940. This invasion not only brought physical destruction, but also instilled tremendous fear among innocent people, particularly the Jewish community. 2. The Nazi invasion and helping the Jews. When Nazi Germany invaded the Netherlands, the ten Boom family witnessed the systematic persecution of Jewish people. Corrie, along with her family, could not stand idly by. Under her father's leadership, the ten Boom family decided to act. Her father, Casper, was a deeply spiritual man, and he could not ignore the suffering of the Jewish people. The entire family began to hide Jewish people in their home. The ten Boom house became a refuge for Jews fleeing the Nazi regime. Every family member participated in this work. Corrie's sister, Betsy, was also a strong believer and helped her hide the Jewish refugees. They set up a secret room in their house where Jews could hide when Nazi soldiers came to search. They also provided food, clothing, and other necessities for the refugees. 3. Witnessing the brutality of war. Although the ten Boom family took careful measures to keep their actions secret, it was not easy to hide from the Nazis. Every day was filled with fear and tension. The German army regularly searched for Jews, and the ten Boom family had to live in constant danger of being discovered. They had to keep everything secret and ensure that no evidence was left behind. Despite the growing fear, the ten Boom family never gave up their mission. Corrie believed that no matter how difficult things became, God would be there to protect them. Every time they heard the sound of military vehicles approaching, they had to quickly hide the refugees in their secret room and pray that they would not be discovered. In 1942, while the family was helping a group of Jewish refugees, there was a raid by the German army. The family feared they would be caught, but they continued to pray and did everything they could to shelter the refugees. At times, they had to remain silent for hours, listening only to the sounds of bombs falling and the footsteps of Nazi soldiers patrolling nearby. 4. The betrayal and arrest of the ten Boom family. Although the ten Boom family had done everything to protect the Jews, in 1944, the worst happened. A traitor had informed the Nazis about the ten Boom family's activities. One day, German officers came to arrest them. At that time, the ten Boom family had helped over 800 Jewish people, all of whom were saved because of their efforts. Although the ten Boom family was arrested, their work saved many lives. After their arrest, they were taken to prison and eventually sent to concentration camps. After being arrested, Corrie and her family had to endure terrible conditions in Nazi prisons. Her father, who had always been her greatest spiritual support, passed away in prison. His death was a great loss for Corrie, but she did not lose her faith in God. Along with the other prisoners, Corrie and her sister Betsy were transferred to a concentration camp in Germany. During this time, Corrie and Betsy realized that their faith and God's love were the strength that helped them endure the horrors they faced, even when all they had left was a fragile hope. Life in the Ravensbrück concentration camp. After being imprisoned in a Nazi prison, Corrie was sent to the Ravensbrück concentration camp in Germany, one of the most brutal camps. The conditions in Ravensbrück were horrendous, with overcrowded barracks, terrible sanitation, and forced labor. Corrie had to endure hunger, beatings, and the overall cruelty of the camp. But throughout this time, she maintained her faith and hope in God's presence. One of the things that kept Corrie going was her relationship with her sister Betsy. Both of them faced the horrific conditions of the camp together, but they encouraged each other and believed that God was watching over them. Betsy, despite her weak health, would often say that one day they would return home and tell the story of the miracles they had witnessed during their time in the camp. Throughout her time in Ravensbrück, Corrie experienced several miracles and felt the presence of God. One of the most notable miracles was how God protected them from the severe abuse of the Nazi soldiers. Despite the hardships, Corrie always believed that God was looking after her and Betsy. Resurrection of faith and hope. In 1945, as the war ended, Corrie was liberated from Ravensbrück. However, she had to face the painful loss of her sister Betsy, who died in the camp. After being freed, Corrie returned to the Netherlands and began a new life. But the memories and pain of her time in the concentration camp stayed with her. Despite this, Corrie found a resurrection of her faith. She continued her work as a preacher and wrote her famous book, The Hiding Place, which told the story of her life, sacrifice, and unwavering faith. This book inspired millions of people around the world. Corrie ten Boom's legacy. Corrie ten Boom spent the rest of her life sharing about her faith and God's love. She traveled all over the world, preaching about forgiveness and how to live according to God's word. One of the most famous stories she would share was about forgiveness. After her liberation, Corrie met one of the Nazi officers who had been involved in the abuse she and Betsy endured. Though it was painful, Corrie forgave him, and this act of forgiveness became one of her most important lessons to share throughout her life. Corrie ten Boom passed away in 1983, but her legacy and story continue to live on. She is a living testament to the power of faith, forgiveness, and unconditional love. Thank you for taking the time to follow the inspiring story of Corrie ten Boom. These stories are a testament to the power of faith, forgiveness, and unconditional love. We hope that you've gained valuable lessons from this story and that it will continue to inspire those around you. If you enjoyed these meaningful stories and want to continue following interesting content, don't forget to hit follow on our channel. Please share this story with your friends and family to spread positive values in life. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you in our next videos.